Well, here it is, December, and foremost in front of my mind, and I think of a lot of other men as well, is this is the holiday season, and I want to take this opportunity to wish all of you a very, very happy and joyous season, whether it's Hanukkah or Christmas or any other holiday that you celebrate this time of year. Do it well, do it safe, and do it with all that you are. Second, along those lines, is to be sure that we take care of our men. If you're in leadership, please be sure that the men that you're responsible for are taken care of, have a place to go, and they find something in their life that gives them everything they need, that'll complete them. If they're missing their families, if they're divorced, or whatever's going on, they have a place that they're part of someone's home. It's been an extremely busy month for me during the last 30 days. I traveled with Rich O'Keefe along the East Coast, visited our Southeast region in Atlanta, our New England region, and a small town called Methuen, which is about 20 miles north of Boston. Incidentally, I have 2 children that were born in that town. And down in New Jersey at our past president's home, Howard Spear, who has a wonderful property, who graciously opens it up to men, not only of MDI, but Mankind Projects and other organizations as well. As part of this video and part of this presentation, we're going to be showing you pictures and videos, small clips of that trip, what those men are like. It'll be narrated by the regional coordinator or division coordinator, whoever's responsible for the event, and that'll be the end part of this video presentation for this month. One thing I want to say about the videos is our videographer, Greg Tennant, mentioned in an email when he started receiving these, he said, man, this stuff is chilling. It's like being transferred to the East Coast and bringing all of my men with me. These men are up to the same things that we are. And that's exactly the truth. This is my MDI, no matter where you are, and it's your MDI, whether where you are or here where I am. So thanks for men for being who you are. Last month, we talked about MDI's insurance. And it seems that there's a general feeling that MDI does not have insurance. I hear it announced at meetings a lot of times, be careful, MDI doesn't have insurance. Well, that isn't true. I think the idea is that men are trying to assure that we're being safe, and we want to continue to be safe, but if something were to happen, we do have insurance coverage. Those coverages are, in a very general and unofficial form, this: that we have a general liability policy that protects us against our materials and equipment that are owned by MDI. It protects us against negligence at any covered event, such as MDI sanctioned and produced events, Spirit Warriors and Legacy Discovery, regional meetings and division meetings, MDI team meetings in members' homes and other locations. We have accident coverage. This includes injuries to guests and to our membership in the amount of $10,000. This policy begins where other policies leave off. It's similar to the kind of insurance you might get for your children when they're attending school. Thirdly, we have directors and officers coverage. If an organization such as MDI is sued, it's typical for the directors and officers to be included in that suit. This coverage protects these men against the threat of losing their home and other assets. I last month submitted a motion to the board of directors pertaining to our dues. An exciting issue that we all love to hear about, and we spent some time, and we spent a lot of time developing a system to have annual dues payment. And there comes a time that leadership has to take a step back and say, maybe we made a mistake. And that's been my belief for some time now, that while most men can handle $180 a year without any significant impact to their lives, we have a substantial part of our membership where that presents a hardship. There's a lot of our men, like the rest of this country, that don't have jobs or struggling or living paycheck to paycheck. For them, to reach in their pocket and pull out $180 is not an easy thing to do. So the motion I submitted to the board is that we return to a semi-annual dues policy. Our next dues will be due January 1st in the amount of $90. If this motion passes, and I'm sure it will, the next dues that we collect will be in July, also for $90. So we'll be on a semi-annual dues collection policy. Next item, we're planning on having a spring leadership meeting. It's been a matter of kind of heated discussions among the board of directors and upper leadership in the recent months. And one of the things that I did in Las Vegas is promise that the division coordinators would be at our next regional meeting, which I hoped would be in June. We actually have a site planned for June 2nd in Northern California, but we're also facing some monetary problems and financial struggles in the organization. We're going to have the leadership meeting, and it's going to be conducted by teleconference, where men in different regions will be able to get together collectively in a room and participate in the international meeting. But instead of seeing men in front of the room, you're going to see men on a large TV screen, and every region will have a small sub-window that goes around that. This is something that MDI, along with every other organization in the country, is stepping into the future and includes our technology. Business travel as a whole is being dramatically reduced in companies like Cisco and General Motors and other places that used to fly their executives all over the place. Almost all of those meetings are now being handled by teleconference. It's a much smaller and more efficient way of doing business and doesn't require men to spend hours and hours traveling. Our annual leadership meeting is going to be held in Las Vegas in conjunction with, or prior to, maybe a better way of saying it, the annual MDI convention, which we're trying to find a way to refer more to as a men's symposium. That with the idea that what we're doing as an organization around end abuse, about bringing masculinity to our planet, is a much bigger picture than just MDI. And it's truly our work that counts more than our organization. And for that reason, we want to expand the nature of what this convention is to be more inclusive. Also, having more attendees will make it financially much more successful than it has been. Another matter that I'm looking at is what is the true membership of MDI? And it's always been a little difficult, surprisingly so, for us to have census material about our membership. One thing, though, is that men are changed by their association and membership in MDI. And in many ways, one could say that once you've been a member of the men's division, you'll remember for life. And I would like to start looking at our membership like that. How many men have we touched through our membership that are truly changed for life and as such members for life? Those are the alumni members that have gone on to improve the world, have better families, and make a difference. Thank you, men. You've made a huge difference in my life. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and stay well.
The Dog Soldiers are a proud division of MDI and have been for many years. Recently, we took a bold step forward by elevating that name and elevating our banner to that of our Southeast region. In doing so, we've made room for new divisions. The first two are Unstoppable, led by Ed Aponte, and Warriors, led by Brian Childers. Men in Atlanta and throughout the Southeast receive great value by participation in MDI, their divisions, and their teams. Men practice and hone the attributes of being successful men. We find value in serving. We trust each other. Often we disagree, but we are accountable to each other. We speak straight to other men. We speak straight to each other. We are dedicated to having MDI succeed and to expanding our membership, and recently we've taken on a task of touching over 100,000 men throughout the Southeast, not to enroll them, but to just let them know we're here. As our brotherhood grows, we plan to have outrageous fun. New leaders will rise from the ranks. New members will complete entry events. We will be proud of MDI, proud of our divisions, and proud of our teams. We plan to publicize our accomplishments. We will be there when our men need us. We'll be there when our community needs us. We're going to carry our standards forward and see that our divisions succeed and grow. We live as bold, honorable men within a modern tribe of men. We are the dog soldiers.
We had a joint meeting with MDI and the Mankind Project, and also a team called Relentless that is an independent team in New Jersey. After the meeting, we all met for refreshments and networking and getting a relationship on Howard Spear, his deck. The reason that we had the event was my vision as an RC is I hope that we will have 1,000 men in action to support the world. And the way that I want to start spreading of what we do and reconnecting with men that do what we do was to have this joint event. And with Charles and Rich O'Keefe coming in, doing their road trip, we figured that that would be a great way to expose them to what we do and what we're up to. Anytime I'm in a circle with men, I always learn something. So what was great about doing these meetings is I see a different way of being in the circle. I see a different way of how men show up. I hear different life experiences in a different way. I love the variety. I love how they checked in and how they held themselves. It was cool because the Mankind Project, in the beginning of the check-in, they actually have these spiritual names and animal names, so I thought that was really, really cool to be able to hear that. It's just variety on some level also. It's really cool.
The New England Regional Meeting gathered together the men of all the divisions in the New England region. O'Keefe and Gears joined us from California. It was great to have O'Keefe back in our midst. The event was opened by Jawbone's DC in training, Joe Rankatori. It featured 3 key elements. Number 1 was the inspection of the teams of the division in the region, in which a panel of senior leaders questioned the leaders and men of each team, helping them to see their blind spots and bring their greatness forward. Number 2 was Plant's completion as RC, Regional Coordinator. This included many men's personal acknowledgments of who and what Plant had been for them in their lives. Some deep, heartfelt expressions of gratitude. Third was the selection and installation of the new RC, Proctor, of Sons of Maine. This event brought together the men of the region for the camaraderie and business of the larger circle. It completed the chapter of Plant service as RC and opened Proctor's new era.
To all the men of MDI, we want to be sure that not a single month passes where there is not some input about end abuse. If you're wondering what we're doing, take a look at this. This is the organizational structure that Jeff Tomlinson is in the process of building. We still have a few empty slots, and men that are excited about end abuse, get in touch with Jeff. He's rocking on this one.